Right, good morning everyone. It's another Peak District trip today. Thought might as well make the most of being local-ish. Can be in the Peak District, as I said, within half an hour at the boundary. About an hour to the good stuff in there, so we're going to head across that way. And when I say we, I mean we, because I've got a wee Frenchman with me today. Archie the Red Dog's making the journey across with me. Not sure whether we're overnighting again or if we're just gonna day trip it, but again, as always, I've brought a bag with me. I've got plenty of food, so we'll start heading across there. We'll just fuel up and we'll be on our way. Right, so it's just gone 10 o'clock now. Been sorting out my stuff this morning. I've obviously got food to cook for later if we do decide to stay over, and I've got his food. But I've not had a chance to make myself any sandwiches, so I'm just going to pick up a few supplies for when we're out and about on the walk. Looks dull and cold, but it's not. Somebody in that queue with a vest on. I want to get my jacket off soon. Just going to nip in here, pick up a bit of munch for later on. Red Dog's partial to a sausage roll as well, aren't you? I said I was just going in for cold food for later on when I'm out and about, but I could not resist the ham and cheese toaster. Amazing.
It's a 16 bar from the dock.
I made a big mistake coming this way. When I was up here last week, you've probably seen it if you watched the other video. The Why Not Festival's on. I could have gone Ashbourne way. Took about half an hour to get past this. Where I'm going is towards the Roaches. So it's the same road as last week, but when we turned right to head up towards Macclesfield, I'll be turning left. But we're through it now by the looks of it. They've certainly got better weather this weekend than they did last when they were setting it up. Looks like it's going to be absolutely packed here. Yeah, they're all queuing to get into it in the opposite direction as well. Just coming towards the back end of the queue now. You can't properly tell how steep these roads are again on camera, but it's 20% gradient. We've come down the steepest part then. Some right sketchy tight roads they are. Some brilliant villages though around the Peak District. So yeah, just entering Staffordshire part of the Peak District. Staffordshire Moorside.
At the next junction, turn left onto Leek Road.
So just entering a picturesque village called Longnaw. The Old Cheshire Cheese Inn. Now, I don't know why that sounds familiar to me. Whether I've been to it or been to one that's called the Cheshire Cheese Inn. Yeah, this is Longnaw. School holidays, so the kids about on bikes.
Turn left.
Well, I've just had to do a U-turn because the sat-nav's just had a meltdown. It sent me left at that junction just there that's on your right now, and it tried to send me through a farmer's field. So now I'm back in Longnor again, so just cutting through. In fact, forget that, I've got to look at the map. This sat nav's cracking me up. Right, well, it was on the right track actually, but it's been trying to send me down some right dodgy roads lately. Back there it was trying to send me through a farmer's field. Like, well, not so much a field, but it weren't tarmacked. It was just like tracks and then grass down the middle. I thought, I'm not going down that. And then in the distance you could see the farm. In fact, it's like over there on the left. We'll probably come to the road it wants to bring me out on. It's probably one of them green lanes. There's loads of them in the Peak District. In fact, I think it was trying to bring me out here. Well, that's it, that's the track. Right, we'll carry on. So we're parked up now at the Roachers. It's quite a big lay-by actually. A lot of cars here though. But we're going to go and check out an area called Hencloud. And I think there's a bit of a disused barn or like an old farmhouse that we're going to catch. And then slowly head across the Roachers up onto the summit of that. So we're going to have a think about it later whether we're staying the night or not. But this one's now ready for a walk. So let's get him moving. Right, so we've actually parked in the middle of the parking area. We're heading that way. And it carries on up over my shoulder back there. There's some great views already into the valley. I think it's Manifold Valley. I'll flash it up on the screen, the name of it. Yeah, we're heading over towards that Hencloud. Back across the Roachers, but as I said, we're in the middle of it, so we're walking back down towards the start of the trail. But it don't matter, it stretches his legs, and I think somebody definitely wants his legs stretching. He's been eager to go. Actually, it weren't that far from the start of the trail, or part of the trail. Come on, Archie, we're going to cut through here, mate. Let's get up them hills. Roachers Gate. Someone ready to go walkies? Let's get going. Come on. Oh, we've got a squeaker on that gate. Right. Information board. As always, if you want to read it, press pause now, and then you'll be able to read what it says about the Roachers. We're heading on up the path and right across to Hencloud. Do you know what? Before we head over to Hencloud, I've spotted something in the side of these rock faces. Let's go over and we'll check it out. I'll show you close up when we're there. Right, so it's just there. That's right. It's for the Don Willans Memorial Hut. I'm going to go over and see what it says, if there's any information on it, a plaque or anything. Come on, Archie, this way, mate. Where are you? You're getting me all tangled up. Right, so we're just about to go through the gate to it. Rock Hall Cottage, Don Willans Memorial Hut. It's been built right next to these rock faces. Some rock climbers up there, making their way up to the top. Well, as you can see, I'm just outside it now. It's got like a little bit of a kitchen. It does say private, but that's through there. And the gate we came through, that doesn't say private. Just let me read what this says. managed by the British Mountaineering Council on behalf of members and affiliated clubs. For availability and online booking, go to www.donwellanshut.co.uk. I'm just a bit intrigued about it, to be honest with you. Oh. Looks alright though, doesn't it? What they decided to build it for though, I don't know. Possibly shelter, refuge when you're out on the hills. Right, let me go back to the dog after I've tied him up to that bench because he kept legging me over. Archie! Archie! Are you behaving? Hey? Are you behaving? Don't tell me you're camera shy. No, it's alright. Right, that's a bit of a way over there, that hen clad, but we'll get across to it and check that out before going back up onto the top of the roaches. You ready for more walkies? Are you ready? We'll take you soon. Take you on the walkies. We're going to be heading that way, up that big hill. I'm sure you can handle that, can't you? So I've come across from that memorial up, to be honest with you. I've been recording with him. It's an absolute nightmare. But we're going to start heading on up Hen Cloud. It's steeper than it looks on the video. And then we're going to start having a walk all the way around the edge, over the top, across the roaches. It's typical as well, the wind has started to pick up, although we are starting to get a little bit higher. Come on Arch, let's get through here mate. Just one sec, just let me latch this gate. Right, straight through here Arch. Always make sure the gate's secure, especially when there's livestock in the fields. Right, to the top. I'll catch you guys up there. Well, we're about up here now. He's been an absolute nightmare. He's caked in mud, so he's got to get back in my van later. I've got some water to wash him down. Just sheltering behind these rocks because, as you've guessed it, the wind is quite strong. We've come quite high up. I'll flash up how high it is when we're at the top. Should only be another couple of minutes till we're up there, but I'll not record that bit. I'll see you on the top of the Hen Cloud. Someone's been enjoying themselves in the mud. I mean, it's dry today, but they have had a lot of rain. As you've seen last weekend when I was up this way, I was a bit further up actually. I was about probably 10 miles north of here, over that way. It's a good way down to the bottom. Ooh, you bugger. Wind's blowing right through this gap as well. Right, well don't quote me on this because I'm going to have to flash up the information just to make sure, and hopefully you can hear me. But that on the horizon, I think is Snowdon. I'm sure I've read that you can see the Snowdon range from Hen Cloud. So I'm just getting my breath back. It was a decent climb up. That track down there gives you an idea of how high up we are. Just going to push on to over there soon. Just noticed down there, past that on the way in, looks like they've got some kind of event on this weekend. Right, so we've made it up to the top of Hen Cloud. I am going to spin you around in a moment. I thought it was, but I've just double checked it. Over there, I'll show you when I spin you around, is the Cat and Fiddle pub where we were last week. But obviously last week we couldn't see anything like this because the weather was horrendous, but he's just had a drink out of a massive puddle, so I'll spin you around and show you some of the scenery up here. It's really nice. So that's back across to the Roaches. We're stood on Hen Cloud. I'll just slowly spin you around. We was driving last week down in that valley, down there, then we cut across to Macclesfield Forest. And then there is the Cat and Fiddle pub. The one that we went to last week when it was torrential rain. But you couldn't see anything like this. I told you the views were spectacular though, didn't I, when we was across there last week? But all this was just low-lying clad. I was going to climb onto the top of these rocks, but I don't think I'll risk it with him. He's swaying about everywhere as it is. Aren't you, Arch? You having a good time? You having a good one, mate? Yeah? You're loving it, aren't you? Right, I've got a disused farmhouse to show you next. So we've come down now from Hen Cloud. I'm just going to start walking across this disused farm building. If it's got a name, I'll flash it up, I'm sure it has. Yeah, it's been a real pleasant walk, this has, and he's been loving it. Making his way through some real deal paths now. Didn't want to be on too much of a tourist trail. Obviously it's pretty well signposted as well, so you don't particularly need a map, but you're always best having one, especially if you're out here in winter and low-lying clad. Come on, Arch, let's get up there. So we've come across now to this disused farm building. I've just tied Archie up. I'm going to spin you around again in a moment just to show you inside. I didn't want to take him inside because I had a quick nose before I started recording, and there's a lot of bits of wood and nails and screws on the floor. It just makes me wonder how it ends up coming into such disrepair, because it's in a stunning location. You'd think somebody would want to do it up and turn it into a holiday let or something. But yeah, I'll spin you around and we'll go and have a look inside and a bit closer up to it. If you do come here, just watch yourself if you do go inside, because I mean, look at that. That's not far off ready for dropping, and the whole lot will just go. It's like an old sink or something there. Didn't really want to be taking the dog inside. Last thing I wanted was for something to happen, get something stuck in his paws. About a 15-minute walk from top of Hen Cloud to here it was. Probably a bit longer, 20 minutes at the most. I'm going to see if I can get this drone up, get an aerial shot of it. There's a bit of a breeze, should be alright. Problem I've got, I ain't got my landing mat, and it's just long grass everywhere, so I didn't want my propellers getting caught in that. I've offered him a drink, but he not have it. Don't know what's up with him. There's far too many smells. Are you alright, Archie? You wait a minute there in its shade, yeah? Right, we will go inside, but I'm going to be very careful. because I don't like the look of these. And as you can see, some have already come tumbling down. It's like a little fireplace or something with there. But it's a shame somebody didn't do it up, because that'd be your view back across the Hen Cloud. Right, let's get out of here. Not overly comfortable with these walls. Look like it could collapse any moment. Archie! Archie! You being good boy? Well, I managed to get a few shots of that old building with the drone, as you've just seen. So I think we're just going to start having a good walk round and see what else is about. He's getting a bit shattered. He has just had a drink. I finally got him to have a drink. He had some out of my bottle. So yeah, it's pretty quiet up here actually. I thought it'd be busier. I'm glad it's not. As I mentioned earlier though, it really is hard filming while you're walking a dog. I've seen other people do it, but like they've got one of the kids with them, or the missus or somebody. Here I'm on my own with him because they're at work, so I've got out for the afternoon. And as I said, we might be stopping tonight, bought everything with us, so if we do, we do. If we don't, well, it's only just over an hour back. Right, so we've done a bit of a loop round. I'm not going to talk for them because of the wind, but over there, that definitely is Snowdonia mountain range on the horizon. I'm not sure how clear you can hear it, or how well you can hear me, but yeah, that on the horizon is Snowdonia. You won't think it was late Friday afternoon now, how peaceful it is up here. I expected loads of folk to be up. I think there'll be a lot over the weekend, you know, this evening and tomorrow morning, but I've not seen too many people about. We're just setting up the next one now. Mind you, they're the only two people I've seen for a while now. A couple of fell runner dudes. You've got to be fit to be doing that, haven't you? Mind you, you've not got a camera in one hand and a dog swinging you about in the other, have you? Oh yeah, before I carry on, I thought I'd just give it a mention, because they always like people promoting it. Stick to the paths wherever possible, because it helps prevent the land erosion. Avoid walking on the peat. I've roped that off. So obviously we'll be sticking to the left side of it. Right, so we've walked around across the roaches, come round now to Blackmere Pond / lake. Apparently it's haunted, yeah, by a mermaid. I'm going to do a voiceover about it, because I've just been reading it all and it's far too much for me to memorise. So I'll give you a few shots of the lake and tell you what it says. The local legend of Blackmere Pond tells of a beautiful young woman who rejected the advances of a local man named Joshua Linnett. Unable to accept rejection, Joshua accused the woman of being a witch, and he managed to convince the local townsfolk to drown her in Blackmere Pond. With her final breath, however, the young woman is told to have muttered a curse against Joshua, and 3 days later his body was found by the pool, his face covered in claw marks. The last recorded sighting of the mermaid was in the mid-19th century, when a group of locals attempted to drain the lake to see if the pool was indeed bottomless as claimed.
Shortly after they began digging at the southern end of the pool, where a drainage ditch can still be seen to this day, it is said that the mermaid appeared from the lake and threatened to flood the nearby towns of Leek and Leekfrith unless they ceased their activities immediately. The source of the story, folklorist Charlotte S. Byrne, records the place name as Black Mere, two separate words.
So we've walked about another 20 minutes from where the mermaid pole was, and I've just noticed I've got 7% on my battery left. Mind you, it's about 4 hours since we was last at the van, and I'll be honest with you, it's only come out on about 70%, the battery was. So hopefully it's going to last till I get over to this trig point on the Roaches. I had been over to it years ago, but obviously I wasn't recording things like I am now and being swung about by mischief here. So I'm going to cut it off now. Hopefully we'll have enough battery. If I don't, I'll catch up with you at the van. But just been taking in all this scenery. Look at the sun shining down on the fields in the distance. Right, we've got 4% and the trig is in range, so I'll see you over there. So we've made it to the trig point on the Roaches. I'll flash up how high it is. This lady's just took our photo, hasn't she, Arch? Which is very good of her. That lady over there. So, right, we'll get off before the battery cuts off, but yeah, we made it to the trig point with 3%. So, I'll catch you guys down at the van. Before I do see you back down at the van, because I really am pushing it with a battery now, just want to give you a pano of the area. It may even cut off while we're doing it, but it'll be worth it, and if it does, I'll catch up with you down there. There is Shutlings Low, that I was going to look out to last week, but didn't bother because of the rain. Yeah, that's that lady down there who took my photo with her family. Right, catch up with you back down at the van. It's about an hour from here. Right, so it's about 45 minutes since I last seen you. I'm literally still on 1%. I'm 5 minutes from the van now, but I just thought I'd show you what it's like around here on the way down. We've come down from that gap there, that opening, and it's all the way down through this bracken. It's pathed like, and then we're just going to make us way past that memorial hut and back towards the van. Well, we made it back and the phone was still on 1%, so now I'm going to bosh it on charge, get the kettle on the go and get some food cooked. Looks like we're the last ones standing around here. It is getting quite late though. I expect some camper vans will turn up later though. So yeah, 4.5 hours we were. Whew, shattered. Well, that's the kettle boiled, so I'll be making a drink shortly. But I just thought I'd let you know, we have decided we are having the night up here, aren't we, Arch? So, yeah, we had a little ride around after we'd got back, just to check out a couple of other spots that I kind of half knew about. And to be honest with you, they're all right. But we've ended up back where we were. We only had about a 15-minute little drive around, down into the valley, down over towards that lake reservoir. But yeah, we're going to call it a wrap now. So we'll have the night here. The forecast for tomorrow is wind and rain. In fact, it started raining a little bit already, as you can see on the van. Some spots of rain. But yeah, I'm going to close off this video now. So thank you very much for watching. All the usual stuff, if you don't mind. Like, comment, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And we'll be making another video when we get a chance to go out again, which hopefully won't be too long. So thank you very much. Cheers.